Back here with the VL, I'm doing another revision. I've decided to redo this cowl. I wasn't happy with the join on that edge, so I've ended up getting another one off the trusty old car out there. And I've cut it along that back bead, which pretty much gets covered by the seal and everything. So I've just gone along and cut it in. I'm now just going to tack it all in. It fitted up quite well. Now I'm starting to stitch it in. One other thing, I was able to get these guards to fit a lot nicer. I had it slightly offset. I thought I had it right to begin with, but there was only a couple of mil in it, but it makes all the difference whether you get these guards to sit evenly on both sides. So just take your time with that if you do it. It's sitting a bit low here, but I'll flex that up before I weld off these sections under there. Yeah, I think that's a better place to cut it because it's right against the firewall as well. So I'll be able to run some sticker under there, you'll never even know it's been done. That panel's all prepped in deoxidine. I'm just going to throw some epoxy on it now, and that's worked out heaps better doing that back round instead of the front one. You can hardly even see it. So instead of doing this front lip, I've done it in the middle of this round here. You can see some little bit pitting there, but that's much better. So that's all done. I'm glad I did it, but it's a lot better than what it was. What I've decided to do with the VL is I'm doing a few revisions. My taillight section got damaged. The rotisserie decided to separate when it was on the lawn there one day and come apart and bent the taillight section. And I'll put a picture up of what happened. I straightened it out, but I'm still not happy with it. So now that I've decided to cut all this car up, I've got a good taillight section on it. So I'm just in the process now of drilling out all the spot welds. So I've just come along here and drilled all them out. All along the bottom, up under the arch. And then I'm just gonna effectively cut in, there's spot welds in here, but I'll just cut around it. All up under here as well. I'm taking this quarter off because that quarter had a bit of damage on the other car, but it was not bad enough to, you get away with it, but this guard's in really good nick, so I'm gonna attempt to take the quarter and the rear tail light, take the tail light section out in one hit and transplant it onto the other car, see how it goes. I've already taken the roof skin and everything off it, so why not keep going? Anyway, so I've made I'm fine. I'm doing a few things 3 times on this car, but I want it right, so it's all practice. But this car was really pretty rust free. It's boot floor's like new in it. This rear thing here, look at the paint. Not even signs of paint rust starting there. It's all still factory paint on it. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'll keep going with it. So there we go. Removed this rear quarter, still attached to the taillight section with all that, so I can marry all that back up how it should be. Sorry about the light, but it's dark now. That's taken me ages. So now I'll start cutting the other out of the other car, and I'll get this. I'll get a lot of it sandblasted, I think. Just not the actual panel itself. Anyway, keep plodding along. Well, had some success. Got it off. So I'm hoping to leave that all together and do that whole corner. I'm probably being a bit fussy, but I want this car right, so I'm as close to right as I can get it. I left the I just cut off there so I can try and unpick this from the back to keep this nice and tidy where it joins the car, so you won't notice it too much, hopefully. Yep. Keep plodding along. I just unpicked all the spot welds for this inner skin of the beaver section. So just along the top edge, I've just gone and drilled all the spot welds out. There's also a spot weld just here, which is for that bracket. Try to get the camera in the right spot. That bracket there. That's either side. And then there's a series of spot welds all on this lower edge. This section's in really good nick, there's no rust. It probably didn't even need to come apart really, but I'm just going to clean it up anyway and just know it's not going to give me any problems down the track. So yeah, once you get them all drilled out, there's also spot welds here, here, here and here. But yeah, with that off, it'll this is loose and ready to come apart, so I'll just separate it from there and I'll show you. I just noticed too, there's actually another spot weld there, which is at the top, and another one there. I was just struggling with it and I just realised I hadn't got them all. So I've got that separated, and as you can see, it wouldn't take long for that to have continued going through, so it's definitely worth splitting these apart, and then you can clean all that up, get some nice paint on there, and yeah, don't have to worry about it anymore. Just started cutting out this side too on this one, so I've got that rear quarter off. Put a heap of paint on the inside of the guard, cleaned up some of the repairs I've done on the inner quarter as well. Big job, but I think it's worth redoing it and getting it right. So I managed to get this tail light section all sandblasted, and I've got it all primed. Ready to put all this inner skin back on. It's a big difference being able to clean it up like that. So that'll be good. I'll get that all back together and hopefully get it back on the car shortly. I also got the bonnet frame blasted, and I've got that primed too, so that'll be good to get that done. Both sides are done. So I'm going to clean the skin up by hand, and I'll get that primed up and back together, and it'll be like a brand new bonnet. So that's good to make a bit more progress. Got stuck in and got this bonnet separated from the frame. This skin's not too bad. I've already cut the hole out for the scoop for the Walky bonnet scoop. But yeah, there's no, there is surface rust in the corners, but I'll clean all that up. The actual frame itself was badly rusted. Red holes all over the place. So, but this skin's usable, and I've got the other frame in epoxy. I got that sandblasted the other day. I've got that ready to go. So it's over in the corner over there. That's a good frame. So I'll get that put in. Got the tail light section sitting here, ready to pretty much go back into the car with a quarter still attached. She's not looking so good up there at the moment, the LVL, but it'll be good. Anyway, but yeah, I thought I'd do some work on the bonnet, try and get another thing done. So much to do. Gets a bit overwhelming, but you just got to keep chipping away at it. Anyway, I'll keep going. I'll show you the next. I've got to paint strip it, and I'll put this side in epoxy. I'll reattach it to the frame, glue it back in, and I'll strip the other side once this is finished, this bottom side. I'll just show you the tools I used also. I made up a set of ply, just some pincers. You don't see, but I just cut a groove on one side, and the other side's sharp, and it closes into that groove. And you just work the edge. You put the groove onto the edge and just work along, and you just lift it a little bit and keep going back and forth until you get it up 90 degrees. You just don't want to stretch it too much, but you can only probably do this so many times. Anyway, that's where we're at. Just been paint stripping this bonnet. I've got a fair bit of it off. The original coating doesn't want to come off real easy though. Just probably strip it with a disc next. What I'm doing now, I'm just going around and dressing up this edge. It's quite wavy from where I've peeled it open, but I've just got the hammer and dolly, and you can see I'm just straightening that edge out. It's coming out well. So I'll get that all done. I'll get that painted in epoxy, and then I'll get this side of it back together. So now I'm just working around with the grinder with a strip it disc on it, being careful not to generate heat, and that's coming back to bare metal quite easily. And then I'll do around the edges with a wire wheel and get that all dressed up. I'll throw some deoxidine on it. I want to try and get that beaver panel taillight section quarter back on the car, or old car. It'll look a lot better when I get that back on. Anyway, I'll keep going with that, and yeah, just got to make sure you don't generate heat. You don't want to warp any of this, so yeah, it doesn't take much. If you just spend a little bit of time in a spot too long, it'll make a dent. So just make sure it doesn't get hot. So that's pretty much done, bar the rusty corners. I've got some converter gel ordered. I'll get some of that on there. That'll suck all that rust out of there. And things like here, I'll put some on there, and that'll just get rid of all that stuff that's pitted in there. Yeah, I'm just going to cut the other holes that are needed on the Walky bonnet. Not that I'm actually going to need the other holes, because it's not having the twin throttle bodies, but I want to make the bonnet basically like how the real one was. So there's another hole in the middle, and then on this side for the air scoop. Anyway, that's looking good. I've just removed all this rust converter gel. I've applied it about 3 times, and then I've just wire wheeled it all, so I've got rid of all the black spots in the pitting. It's obviously still pitted, but there's no rust left in there. So all the corners. Now I'll keep them a bit more oil to re-deoxidine it and then get it in epoxy. And it's good having this all sealed up. Get the frame back in and back together. And I'll flip it over and do the other side and get that in epoxy, and then I'll throw it back on the car out of the way. Just got that frame sitting on the bonnet. It's all painted up now, obviously. Got to put some sticker under it, and then I'll clamp it on position and start re-pinching the skin back to the frame. I fixed up all that rust in that corner. That's all good now. That's gonna be nice. It'll freshen up like new. I decided not to cut the holes out of the centre. I still might do it down the track, but I'll just do it all as one when I've got it back together. They're not going to be used for anything, so I was in 2 minds whether I should actually cut it out or not. Anyway, I'll try and put a video up of me hammering the skin back down. So that bonnet's all back together now. All the edges have been hammered and dollied back over. Takes a fair bit of doing. And then all the frames all sickered back to the skin. That's all worked out quite well. So I'll get him all tidied up, and I'll get another coat of epoxy on this side, and then I'll dress the face up, get it all bare metalled and back in epoxy also, and then I'll put it back on the car out of the way and move on to something else. Anyway, so I've got this tail light section and quarter. Started to put it back on. Just make my way up, joined through there. Got to do these plug welds. And on this side. So that's it's gone back on fairly easy. Hopefully it'll keep going that way. But that's much better now. The other one was I had an issue, got got damaged, so it was easy just to redo it and know it's right. And I'll keep plugging along, doing these heaps of plug welds to do. And get it all back together. So I finally got this finished. Well, not finished, it's got to be painted, but I've got all the welds round back, all up under here. This whole quarter. Been a bit of a mission. So I'm going to dress all this up and get it back in epoxy hopefully tomorrow, and then that'll be the end of this video, and I'll move on to the other stuff I've been working on. But yeah, had a few setbacks, but I'm back where I was, and it's a lot better job. So being able to weld that back in like this, so it's fairly, well, I think that's how it should be done. Instead of trying to weld two pieces together, I've actually welded it where it was welded from factory. Anyway, keep on moving on with it. That's her all painted up. Strip that side too. Bare metal the whole thing. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm glad I've redone it. It's definitely a better job in the end. Just going to put seam sealer over all the welds, brush it in to start smooths it out. But yeah, anyway, that's the end of this one. I'll put another one up shortly.